We are all here. Happy, what day is it? Tuesday, right? Yep, it's Tuesday. I'm still delayed from last week, just a little
Same.
bit.
I'm in like a total just like brain fog.
Absolutely. Yes. But we look good up here. And I'm here with some incredible people. Of course, Izzy, this is your first time chatting with a creator in charity. So,
It
congratulations.
is.
Yes, and thank you for being my partner in crime here at Tiltify and doing all the social media things. So thank you. But
Mm.
I'm not only here with Izzy, but I'm here with Rich, the Cure Rare Diseases founder, is CEO. We get to hear a little bit about his story and why he started this cause. And Seneb, amazing creator, here with the Tiltify platform, has fundraised for years here with us. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and happy Tuesday again. If you don't know who I am Miss Ash, or you can call me Ash. That works perfectly. I'm Totify's community manager. I get to host amazing events like this, talking with amazing creators, sharing their stories, and of course, sharing the mission of different causes here on our platform. So let's throw the next round of intro to Izzy.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I am behind the social media of Tiltify. So if you see tweets or Instagram posts or anything, chances are that's probably my doing. And yeah, I've been with the team for a good half a year now and absolutely loving every moment and loving to do cool stuff like this, getting to meet community members and charities and just really learn the stories that bring us to these moments.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And the lovely Rich, can we learn a little bit about you? Of course, we're going to get more into the mission of the cause, but if you can give us a little background about yourself, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, happy to. Thank you so much to you both for having me and to the Tiltify community. As you said, my name is Rich Horgan. I'm the founder and CEO of Cure Rare Disease. We're a nonprofit biotech based out of Boston, Massachusetts, developing life-saving medicines for kids and adults impacted by diseases that have traditionally been sort of too rare to attract commercial interest to treat. But I have a younger brother who's impacted by a rare form of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. We'll talk about, I think, in a little bit. And it really motivated me to start this organization and assemble a really world class team of researchers and scientists to try to do something to change that. So happy to share more.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the intro, and thank you for all the work you have done, and of course, the team behind Cure Diseases as well. So, thank you. And Sneb, I asked Sneb, I said, do you want me to do Snebzor or Sneb? And I really like Sneb, so we're going to stick with Sneb.
It's
Sneb, can you
easy.
tell us? Yeah, it's easy. Can you tell us a little bit about your content creation journey from the start to now?
Oh boy, yeah. So the pandemic happened, and I was a very social person. I was always involved in clubs and volunteering, you name it. I just really loved being a part of a greater community. And then I live in Canada, and everything shut down. Gyms were shut down. You
Oh,
couldn't go to schools anymore. Everything was just total lockdown for quite some time. And all the things that I had grown very accustomed to were suddenly stripped from me. And so I was alone in my house a lot. Well, just me and my family. I thought, well, how can I connect with people? How can I get out there? And I played a lot of video games, enjoyed video games, and I thought, why don't I just share that with other people? So I started streaming on Twitch almost every day because, well, there wasn't much else to do during the pandemic. And
yeah.
I grew to meet tons of amazing people, started a community, met other creators, started doing streams with them and videos with them, started joining podcasts and just immersing myself in that. And it's been over 2.5 years now, and here I am. I'm a partner Twitch streamer, and I just love meeting so many different people online. It's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, the pandemic has definitely done some time to all of us for sure. And that's why I've been enjoying getting back into conventions this year. TwitchCon is coming up. PAX West was awesome. And I got that fire back, being more engaging with my peers and other streamers and so forth. So we're still in a pandemic, y'all. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves and protect yourselves and others, because it's tough out here. But I think we are finally getting slowly back to a normalcy of a world. But that's awesome, Snap. And you've done so much in just a few years and you've been super successful. And I can't wait to hear more about that. All right. Izzy, you want to take us away with the questions for our lovely,
Yes.
lovely people?
Okay, so Snap, question for you. What inspires you the most to fundraise with your community? Kind of a hard-hitting question right out the gate, but
Yeah, well, oh boy, there's a lot of facets to this. So I have a younger brother, like Rich, who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and my brother loves video games because video games empower folks who may not have the ability to go do sports or whatever. They give them an outlet, somewhere they can express themselves and be whatever they want. And I find that to be really beautiful in video games. My brother, when he plays a game, it's like he just goes into this different world and he loves it and is so engaged in it and finds so much joy. And so I find that video game communities attract a lot of folks who can benefit from sort of that freedom of expression. And then video games connect pretty much everyone. They allow people to all work together to solve common goals in a game, and it's just a really interesting thing. So that's one piece of it. But one thing that really inspired me um, was I was part of this organization called Hardstuck, and then one day they came and they told me about cure rare disease, and it really aligned with my values and with my story. And so I found that I could get my community behind me because it's something that's really important to me and thus very important to them. And I could tell my story and we could communicate that with a wide audience of people, some of which who are also affected in a similar way. And so that was ultimately what inspired me to start doing fundraisers and being more active in that sort of practice was because one, my brother, our family's been really impacted by Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I have several cousins who have it. My uncle had it and passed away. I have another cousin that passed away from Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and ultimately, that's really important to me. And then there's just so much beauty in being able to, um, you know, attract all different kinds of people into a community like this.
love that. And I love that like it's such a personal thing to you that it's not just, oh hey, let me go do something good. It's something that is really impactful to not only your family, but to those that you surround yourself with, and that's really special.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I think is really special is these connections that you make. There are people that I've never met, but I talk to them almost every day online. And these are people that know about my brother, know about my family. And, when I say, hey, we're going to do a fundraiser, they jump right in because they care and they're a part of that now too. And they gain that awareness that they may otherwise not have had.
That's awesome.
I'm okay. You're gonna learn very quickly that I'm emotional. So if I start if I start bawling my eyes out, try not to cry with me because I don't know that really warms my heart, and I love how you get your community engaged in something that you're very passionate about and something that does that is personal to you and does affect your everyday life and that's amazing. And I'm glad you have a platform that you created, and you get to do this every year. You get to fundraise every year and do good and feel good about supporting this cause. And it's going to impact other people, which is amazing, especially that are going through the same experience as you. So that's amazing. And I'm
As
crying already. So,
I
yeah.
just want to say shout out to your community because you know, that's them choosing to take time out of their day to support you, to support your brother, to support cure rare diseases. And like, huge shout out to communities like yours and communities of everybody out there that choose to rally behind a cause because, yeah, it's one thing to turn on the camera and stream, but for the community to come together and make a difference, that's huge.
I was originally really
Absolutely.
afraid. I had never done something like it, but like I'd never fundraised online before. All growing up, I had done all kinds of walks and physical fundraisers, going to different people asking for sponsorship and whatnot. And I went to my community and I said, I don't feel prepared, and I'm worried that we're not going to do good by this. And this is so important to me. Like I can't screw this up. Like we gotta go hard. And my entire community was like, "Don't worry, we've got your back. Like, we're gonna make sure this is a success because we know it's important to you, and we see the value and importance in what Cure Rare Disease is doing."
I
Love
love
that.
that. Thank you so much for sharing why you fundraise and continue to. And we're going to throw it over to Rich. Rich, how are you? I am so honored to be in your space because you're doing amazing work and I appreciate it so much. I wanted you to go a little bit deeper into how you founded Cure Diseases and why it was so important to you.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Happy to share more. And I don't know if I can do better than Sneb on his story, but I'll take a shot. Um, no, just kidding. So yeah, I founded, similar to Sneb, I founded Cure Rare Disease as a very personal mission. Similar to Sneb's story, my brother was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. DMD, as it's abbreviated, is a muscle wasting disease. So generally, the disease robs pretty much boys of their muscle. And leaves them wheelchair bound in their early teenage years, and then eventually impacts the heart, and the lungs, which of course we need those to live. And so it is unfortunately a fatal disease. Right now, there's no effective cure or treatment for the disease, and so it is really a disease that, similar to ALS, ravages patients and beyond patients, the families, like Sneb and I, our communities as well. And so, sort of with that context, I wanted to try to do something different. I was finishing up business school in 2018, and from there launched Cure Disease as an effort. And so it started first by bringing together scientists who often don't work together to try to develop something that might be able to stop the progression of the disease. And like any business effort, we got lucky a few times, and we brought together great people, and we ended up developing something called CRISPR, CRISPR-based medicine, genome editing, for those of you who may not be familiar. And beyond that, we've launched efforts for other diseases as well, other orphan diseases that don't have treatments and impact muscle or brain conditions in patients. And so, for our first therapeutic, I'm proud to say we received FDA approval to treat our first patient this past summer. And so it was a really exciting moment, and a big piece of that is due to this esports community. This is, I really resonated with Sneb's comments about this is a community that comes together to help make the world a better place. And similar to Sneb, my brother is an avid gamer and has been for as long as I can remember. And it's a big function of the esports community that we're able to get here. And I think it's important just to point out the impact that viewers and dollars have to advance this. We aren't a multi-billion-dollar organization. This is a relatively young nonprofit organization that's making big waves, but those big waves are able to be made because of donors who tune into to all these different streaming platforms and help support great creators like Sneb, who in turn shed some light on us. So super grateful for that.
Absolutely. And thank God for Tiltify because, it makes it easy for us to choose our cause and do good immediately in just a few minutes. And of course, you'll need extra time for your incentives and everything, but it's just as little as a few minutes to get started and fundraise with your communities and really share that passion and why you're fundraising. Exactly how Snap does it. All of us streamers do it. And I love that. And I love that you created this cause and you went to school, you got people together for this cause and to fight for your mission. And I know your brother is going through the new treatment. How is your brother doing since it was recently approved from the FDA?
He's doing well so far. Like any new clinical trial, I think he's excited, but also anxious, as one would be. But we have a great team who's come together at UMass Chan here in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they're doing a great job. I think anything can be done with a group of people who really puts their minds to it, whether it's developing a new drug or putting a person on the moon. I think that's something that we as a society are really good at when we choose to be good at it. So grateful for
That's amazing. And do you plan on extending your mission to other diseases within the world?
We do, yeah. We actually extended it to other muscle and brain disorders about a year and a half ago. So now the therapeutics we're developing have the opportunity to impact over 200,000 Americans who are suffering
Wow.
from rare diseases. And of course, as time goes on, the idea to partner these off so we can reach international patients as well. And all good things take time, but with the catalytic community that esports brings, it gets us there quicker. So um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And as creators, when we're fundraising, we love to give call to actions to our communities like $5 does this, $10 does that. Can you tell us how funds directly impact research and work for cure diseases?
Yeah, absolutely. With Cure Rare Disease, I'm very proud to say that over 95% of every dollar goes to the mission, one of the highest program rates out there. And so it's very important to me to be really respectful of donor dollars. It's times aren't always easy, and so whether it's a dollar donation or a $10,000 donation, it's really important that we respect that and drive as much of it into the mission as possible. You won't see private jets at Cure Rare Disease. You will see science. And so for us, $500 is something where we can, run a whole genome sequencing panel for a patient or a blood test of some sort. But the dollars generated go to support our researchers, to buy lab supplies, to buy materials, and of course, scientists' time. So that we can get the job done and keep getting it done. And so that consistent support, the growth of the creator community, who are watching is really important. And for us, we have Cure Disease is on Tiltify, and definitely encourage viewers to reach out to us and to look at our streaming ambassador program on our website, cures.gg, for more information.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all that info. I'll throw it back to you, Izzy.
Yeah, so I have another question for Sneb. Uh, what inspired your journey for cure rare diseases? I know you said that your brother has the same disease, but kind of what's more to that story? What more
Yeah.
can you share with us?
Honestly, I think it was kind of fate and dumb luck. So the org I'm a part of, Hardstock, they were reached out to, and they said, "Hey, do you want to fundraise?" And I basically just got a ping that said, "Does anybody want to support this?" And to be completely honest, I didn't even look. I was like, "Charity, let's help it." That's what I saw. And then so I agreed to do it, and then I started researching it, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like this is exactly, there's no way. Like no one ever talks about DMD, right?" Like I felt like I was in this little bubble, right? DMD is such a rare disease that I only know a handful of people that are affected by this, and most of them are my family. So when I was reading that and I saw trying to find a cure for DMD, I was kind of in shock. Like I couldn't believe how aligned that was with my personal journey and everything. And then and then it kind of gave me a kick in the butt because then I only had a few days to like make this fundraiser awesome. I was like, oh no. So I started texting everybody. I was like, Mom, Dad, like, can you believe this? Like, have you seen this? The research that they're doing? Because we used to be, even my mom led a lot of fundraising initiatives and before for Muscular Dystrophy Canada. And so she was very in sync with a lot of the research that was done. And I was like, "Have you heard about any of this?" She's
Yeah.
like, "No." And so we explored, and they're all very excited about it. So really, it was honestly a lot of dumb luck. And then, I started talking to more people about it, and just I started saying, "We need to get more involved with this. Like, we need to do this again. Like, this is really important to me." And thankfully, I have so many good friends in the gaming org I'm a part of, and in the Guild Wars 2 community, which is the game that I mainly play. I just We pushed for it. We also did a tournament and raised over $10,000, and that was huge. And spoiler alert, I'm hoping to plan another one in the next few months. So I'm all in.
Ooh.
Like I feel like this was just handed to me, that it just fell from a tree and in front of me, and I'm supposed to do it. So I'm that was kind of how it happened. Very lucky.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
cool.
that's serendipitous.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, can you tell us about Guild Wars? What is that game? Can you give us a description?
Yeah, sure. So I actually have news as of today. I'm actually to read it at Partner, which is kind of cool. So I'm affiliated with the company now. But Guild Wars 2 is
Nice.
an MMORPG. So you make a little character, you choose like what role you're going to play. You're going to be a warrior or a mage, that kind of thing. So an elementalist in Guild Wars 2. And then you go and you explore the world, you level up and you team up with your friends and you take out big bad bosses, or you can fight against other players. And it's very community driven. MMOs are very social because they're multiplayer in nature. And so the Guild Wars 2 community, though small, is very mighty. Small maybe relative to some other games, but it's actually a fairly large game. And so they're
Oh.
just so connected. Like even people that you might not think would be friends are friends because of this game. We all might live in different parts of the world and have very different contexts and upbringings and whatever, but we're all united for this one reason, that we all love this game. And so it's really amazing because the Guild Wars 2 community really backs charity events and causes when they happen, because everybody knows everybody. And you know, I feel like I'm at least moderately well known in the Guild Wars 2 community. And so when I come out and I say, hey, like I haven't really talked about this much, but I actually have a brother who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and this is what that means. Suddenly people can go, oh, like that's something I'd never heard of, but Sneb's talking to me about it. So I'm going to listen for a little bit at least. And I think that's really special. Guild Wars 2 is just a really cool community game.
And it was just released on Steam.
It was actually, yeah, it was huge, and it's had a huge influx of new players. It's really exciting to see, actually. One thing that the Guild Wars 2 community's been doing, which I find really special, is they all started like gathering at all the new player areas, and they character can hold balloons and stuff, and they were just welcoming all the new players into the
That's
game
so
like some kind of massive
sweet.
Cool.
party.
I love
All
communities
right.
like that.
I'm downloading it. I'm doing it. I have it ready right now. Right after the stream, I'm hitting install. I'm doing it. You convinced me. I love small games with huge impact, and now that it's on Steam now, I'm sure that's bringing in a crap ton load of more
Oh
players.
yeah,
So
lots.
that's amazing. And I know you talked about the Guild Wars community supporting charity streams and so forth. How do they support your own fundraisers with your communities? Do they uh, bring devs in to play with you or matching donations? What do they do for you?
Yeah, devs will pop into the streams all the time and just, you know, sort of say, hey, good job, love what you're doing. Devs in the past, when we've done fundraising efforts, have donated themselves. And
Mm.
yeah, I mean, we get a lot of support. The Guild Wars 2 community in general is just extremely involved in what everyone is doing. Like they all, everyone knows everyone. Think of like a small rural town. You know, that's the Guild Wars 2 community. Everybody knows everybody, and they're all just really involved. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the devs are also just friends with. Like, I actually went to PAX West as well, and there was a Guild Wars 2 10th anniversary party, and I met all the devs there. The devs know a lot of the players and a lot of the streamers and stuff, and are involved in their chats. And so when you do something like a fundraiser, they all jump into. They're all for it.
Huh.
That's
Pretty cool.
awesome. I love the close knit community feel of the game community. Yeah, that's cool. I'm playing. So if I message you later,
There
I
you
message
go.
you about the game because I might need some help. So,
So
I
you
mean,
like
I know quite a bit about it now.
going the
okay,
main
good.
direction, the warrior? Where are we thinking here?
Yeah, what class, like in like RPGs, what class do you normally play? I'm throwing this question to everybody, throwing us off track, but what type of class does everybody usually play?
I like to be a tank or a healer.
What if you could be both?
Both.
It's a
Absolutely.
guardian in Guild Wars 2. You can be both.
Oh, I don't tell me that because that is the best of both worlds, and I'm gonna get really
A lot
excited
of
right
fun.
now.
Yeah, I'm usually I usually play like a range DPS class of some kind. So I in
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2 I play a class called Engineer, and Guild Wars 2 is very unique in that pretty much every class can do every role, with maybe some minor exceptions. So Engineer is just kind of fun because there's a class called Mechanist. You have this like little robot that follows you around, and it can like heal and support players. And yeah, so
Cool.
I'm usually a little bit of everything, but I enjoy the pew pew, do a lot of damage, big numbers kind of thing.
I love that. Well, thank you for getting me onto a new game because I've been playing a lot of Valorant. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's kind of CS:GO and Overwatch had a baby, and it's been stressing me out lately. So give me all the game recommendations so I don't have to play that game right now because I've been enjoying Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like I'm obsessed. The last 5 days, that's all I've been playing. So keep giving me all the fun, somewhat cozy attack games. I'm all for it. So Guild Wars, I got it. I'm installing it. Thank you. That's cool. And have you been maining Guild Wars throughout your whole content career, or you just started recently?
Yeah, that's a great question. The answer is yes. I pretty much exclusively play Guild Wars 2, though I every once in a while I'll try something else just for kicks. But Guild Wars 2 is kind of my game. I played it since I was like, well, I played the original Guild Wars 1 since I was like 11 or 12. So I've played for 16 years in the franchise. I've sort of grown up with the game and the franchise. I played Guild Wars 2 for over 10 years since the beta, and just off and on playing ever since. And it's hard to leave a game when you have such an amazing community behind you. I would never leave because all of my friends are there and they're all amazing. So
I
there's no
love
other reason for
that.
me to go play many other games because I find everything that I want in Guild Wars 2.
There you
Oh,
go.
I want to find a game like that. Now I'm jealous, but it's okay because I could join you, so I can have the same experience. That's really cool. I didn't know Guild Wars was out for that long. I didn't know that. So okay, yeah, I got it. I need some catching up. I know I've had a lot of recommendations for WoW as well, but I feel like it's always too late to get into games that have been out for that long and everybody knows what to
Never.
do. But never. I learned that today. Never too late. Never too late. That's awesome. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your content creation journey and everything else. Appreciate it. Now let's talk about
Here, we got this
hmm.
question for Rich. What
Yeah, let's
can
do
you tell
Rich.
us about upcoming events for cure rare diseases that creators can get involved in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely welcome any and all creators to reach out and participate. This month's actually a really special month, September, because this is Muscular Dystrophy Awareness Month, and so we have an initiative going on where creators can sign up to support Cure a Disease on our Tiltify page. I can drop the link in the chat if it's helpful, but and we're always planning cool new events for creators to get involved with, and they can stay up to date on these events by going to our ambassador page, curious.gg. And we also have a event coming up for October, of course, being that it's Halloween. Scaring is Caring, which we held our first one last year, and it went super, super well. People had a really good time. And then, of course, for the holidays, we have Game for Cures, our biannual holiday stream, which is usually well attended as well. So, yeah, I definitely encourage people to go to cures.gg for our Creators for a Cure Ambassador program. We like to take care of our creators and make sure we give them all the cool swag that we have and all the content updates and everything like that. So yeah.
Awesome. I love swag. I love, love, love swag.
All right,
Hmm.
I'll send you a sweatshirt.
Okay,
They're
I
really
will.
comfortable. They get really good
I'll
reviews.
let you know when I'm gonna fundraise. I got you. I got you.
There you go.
And I wanted to ask, how do we advocate for individuals with DMD outside of fundraising?
Yeah, really good question. Be interested in Sneb's perspective on this too. But I think the first thing is just arming oneself with knowledge, sort of the awareness that the disease exists, that there are no treatment options for it. But we're doing a lot of hard work to realize treatment options. Participate in awareness campaigns like some of the ones I mentioned. There's really a lot of ways to get involved, and it really just ranges from sort of at the sort of less involved end, following good organizations on Twitter and social media just to keep abreast of what's going on in terms of drug development efforts. And then of course at the more involved range is attend events, join events, really get involved. This is, I think, one of really unique instances where individuals can make a really significant difference, right? I think all too often we feel like, what's one person going to do? Does my effort really matter? Well, here it's actually really, really impactful for an individual to get involved in some way, shape, or form. And if everybody does just a little bit, we get there so much faster. And I think that's a big important thing for people to know.
Absolutely. Getting educated is number one, and listening to stories. And then, of course, trying to get involved, sharing awareness with your community, with your family and friends, and fundraising too.
Yeah,
And Sneb,
yeah.
I didn't know if you had, oh, I'm sorry. Did not want to cut you off.
No, 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 no. You're good. I was just going to add in that this is a disease where 30% are passed on from family, and then 70% are actually random. So you really don't know if you go on to have children, or your siblings have children, if they'll have the disease, unfortunately. And there's limited genetic screening right now, and limited newborn screening. And so it's you just never know if it's going to be you, kind of thing, unfortunately. And that's where a lot of families fall into.
Wow. I did not know that. Thank you for the facts. 70% random, 30% through family. Goodness.
That's like,
And
I'm having to think on that a moment, because that's kind of an impactful fact to think. Because both of you are saying that you have siblings and family members, but if that's not really kind of where the majority comes from, that it could affect anybody,
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, it's one of those
absolutely.
sobering statistics. When you look at rare disease as a whole, even beyond Duchenne, about 10% of the population here in the States is impacted. And so it's actually very common to have a rare disease. It's just that individually the diseases are different. So of that 10%, or about 33 million Americans, there's over 10,000 rare diseases. And in the US, at least, rare disease is defined as impacting 200,000 people or less. So when you do the math, it's actually quite sobering to think about sort of a rare disease that impacts maybe two people versus a rare disease that impacts, in the case of DMD, about 15,000 here in the States. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just never really know, and there's so many diseases that aren't even really known yet, to be able to screen for, and so it makes it really challenging.
Absolutely. And I want to throw that same question to you, Sneb. How can we advocate for individuals with DMD outside of fundraising?
Yeah, that's such a good question, and in some ways difficult to answer. I agree with Rich 100%. Education and just helping people understand and be aware about this disease. A lot of people have absolutely no idea. Um, they have no idea. Like I'm out with my brother, they don't know, right? And very few people are ever going to ask, and maybe that and that's probably not a good idea for them to ask. It'd be a little impolite, but we still need to spread that somehow. They need to learn in some way. And so just sharing that information is very important. One thing I'm a big advocate for in my community and my stream, the Guild Wars 2 community especially, is um, when I'm advocating for people with disabilities of any kind, DMD included, of course, I think it's important to listen, to see what they need, what they want, and not set limitations on their abilities um, or their goals or anything like that. I think oftentimes when we're dealing with rare diseases, we might have this tendency to want to speak for somebody, but the most powerful thing is having them like my brother, I try to get him to tell me what he needs or to tell other people what he wants and what his experience is, and then just listen. I think that's so powerful because then you get the first hand account rather than the second hand or the third hand account.
That is really, really powerful. And I think a lot of people, they just wonder, like, what can I do for you? Listen, and then go from there. Listen is the
Yeah,
number one tool for everything, you know?
really good advice. Just listen. I think that's a lot of it at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I agree. I definitely agree. And I love how you touched on advocating for individuals with any disease or whatever it may be, mental health included. Just listen. Listen. Absolutely. I love that. And it's so simple too, because a lot of us, we always overthink, what can we do? What can we do? Listen and go from there. I love that. Very, very powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I wanted to ask, what are the areas of focus for cure disease at the moment right now, Rich?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the question. Our areas of well, let me take a step back before answering sort of the diseases specifically. So what we're trying to
Mhm.
build, like I mentioned at the beginning, is this idea of a framework to develop therapeutics for ultra rare diseases that are just not sort of commercially interesting, sort of don't have enough patients to attract for-profit pharma to do something about it, like a
Mhm.
COVID, like a heart disease, like a diabetes does. And so what we're building is a new way to develop therapeutics wherein we bring collaborators together at the very beginning, engage with the FDA early and often. And what we're able to do because of that is actually move relatively quickly, because a lot of these rare diseases are progressive in nature, and so time is a big enemy for us, unfortunately. And so what we've expanded to beyond DMD or Duchenne muscular dystrophy is limb girdle muscular dystrophy. There's tens of thousands of patients impacted by that. A neurodegenerative disease, which I won't bore you with the exact details of, but other conditions that really impact brain matter and muscle, neuromuscular diseases. And of course, folks can always go to our website, cureraredisease.org, to learn more and engage on whatever level they like to. But we do this through a collaboration of scientists from all across the United States, Canada, Europe, and we've really grown it over the last few years to be over 8 different collaborations with institutes across those areas, as well as a number of other industry partners, all of whom are really pitching in because they believe in the mission. Whether that's giving cost discounts because we're a nonprofit, or helping to speed things along, because we're not trying to make money at the end of the day. I think the important is what we're really trying to do is provide access, and sort of a challenge of developing medicines for very small populations is, how do we pay for these, and how do we get enough money to advance them? And streaming is one way, but I think in order to make this truly accessible and equitable to all, we need to make sure we keep talking about it, because that's how people will become aware and start to move things in the right direction.
Absolutely. I love that. I love all the areas of focus you have. And I'm sure it's just going to keep growing more and more and doing more work, more research across the world. And eventually, like you said, internationally, I think that will be awesome. I can't wait for that day to come. So thank you for sharing with us. And Snab, I know you have to leave soon. So
Soon.
I, very soon, but I wanted to ask, what are some of your favorite ways of fundraising with your community? If we could talk about incentives, milestones, or any fun things you do.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I got a good one. I told the Guild Wars too. So this requires some context. I have this headband that I wore every day for 2 years, and it started to yellow, and it was getting disgusting. And everyone
Oh,
everyone knew about it, and they were teasing me about it. It was gross, right? I told the community, I said, hey, this is super important to me. If we raise $10,000, I will wash the headband. And they're like, no way, right? Like, you're not going to do that. I was like, I promise if we hit this milestone, I will do it. We also had other mini ones like there's a creator, Mighty Teapot, who's a good friend of mine in the Guild Wars 2 community as well. He and I did like a StarCraft 2 cast, and we like did like a mini tournament for the community after we hit, I think it was like 3 or 4K or something. So we set these little milestones that are just fun and exciting and get the community involved and intrigued in other ways. But yeah, my favorite one was definitely the headband. So I did a stream where I like took bleach and all these cleaning supplies and I like stirred the headband in it. And then I showed like the nasty water after. So that was a
oh.
good one. So that's probably my favorite stuff, is to just set these like cool milestone rewards and just get the community as involved as possible.
Oh my gosh, that is Izzy. I think that's probably the most unique
I was
incentive
gonna
we've heard in
say
a while.
this is gonna stick out to me for a while because that is so individual and personal to you as a creator and your community. Like, I've never heard something like that. And so
Yeah, it
this is
was
gonna
pretty
stick with
random.
me for a while, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing because I'm envisioning, like, the gross water and, like,
It's
the
pretty
yellow
bad.
stains and everything,
There's Twitter
so
pictures.
Give us those links so we
Yeah,
can look at them,
it's quite
please.
shocking, startling even.
put it in the Tiltify archives.
Yeah. People were quite
Yeah,
worried that I'd wiped out different bacteria populations completely by by cleansing the headband. But yeah, it was beautiful. Everyone got really involved, and people would. I think one of the cool things about doing like big things like that is that they are long lasting too. So people are like, "Why did you wash the headband?" And I get to tell them why, right? And so there's something cool about saying, "Hey, yeah, there's this big thing that we did. And I watched the headband, and you all know about it because it's been this ongoing joke for so long. But we did it because we did something great together. And this is the impact that we had. And people are like, wow, like that's kind of cool, right?
That's awesome.
We have to tell Michael about this, Izzy.
We have
Absolutely.
to. We
We have
have
to.
to.
I have not heard of that. And I don't know why I love it so much, and it's really disgusting. I love it. That is awesome. And Snap, I'm gonna let you go so you get prepared. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'm sending so much love to you and your family. And I want you to share with that community where they can find you on social so we can support you.
Yeah, I'm mostly on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Snebzor, Snebzor. Canadian, by the way, as you can tell by the Z. But yeah, you can find me there. I tweet a lot, talk about things, have a good time. And on Twitch, you can find me helping new and returning players get into like the more difficult bosses and stuff in Guild Wars too. So
Me,
yeah,
We'll be sending
gonna be
going to
ads
be
fun.
your
helping
way.
me. I'm
Yeah,
really
thank
excited. I am.
yeah, you should try it. It's actually really quite fun. It's very chill, very relaxing, get to explore. It's very good. Yeah, thank
Yep.
you so much
Yep.
for having me. I'm so grateful and just overjoyed that I could just share this with Rich as well. And big shout out to Rich and Cure Rare Disease. I'm a huge supporter. And like I said, in a few months, I think we're going to do another big tournament and see what we can do. So
Oh,
I'm
make sure
planning,
you,
I'm plotting. It's going to be good.
yes, tell us all the deets, please. Tag us on socials,
I
DM
was gonna
me,
say tag us on
everything.
social so that we can give some love.
Will do. Yeah, it's still in the planning phase, but in a few months, I'm thinking mid-November, we got something going on. So
Okay.
Ooh,
Thanks for
I'm
everything.
excited. And Rich, if you had any words for Snap, you can go right on ahead.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just awesome what Sneb and his community do. I think it's fantastic, and the sort of common bond we share is unfortunate, but you know a good one to rally around. I think so. Big hats off to you, Sneb, as always for the work you do, and just congratulations on everything.
yeah, thanks so much. Right.
Thank you,
So for those
Snap.
that don't know, I'm actually like a professor. So I have to go teach a night class now. But I'm so grateful. And thank you so much for having me. And I'm sure we'll connect again soon.
Yes, we will chat soon. Have a
Yes.
great evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye. And boom, just like that, smooth transition. You like that?
Ooh,
You like it, chat?
I like that.
You
That's
like it?
look at that.
Well,
That's
and we
fancy.
very fancy. We have a few minutes left with Rich. So, Izzy, did you have any more questions for Rich?
Yeah, so this is kind of a fun one.
Hmm.
It's kind of back on track, but what or would you say are some things that you love the most about your job right now?
Oh, that's a good question, huh? Yeah, let me think about that for a second. I would say it's definitely the people. It really always comes down to the people for me. A mentor of mine told me that years ago, and I was like, okay, but like, what about the science? And you know, it's the science comes with a really great team, and whether that's scientists or streamers or people watching, you know, I think it really always boils down to the people that are involved in things. And you know, when people want to, you know, make something great happen, it's really cool to see how we can come together as a community to like make that happen. That's fun, and you know, just all the cool science stuff we get to do. It's we're really on the cutting edge of some of the world's really most impactful science that can be done here, and to meet the kids who are impacted and their families. We have a patient of ours from Arizona and their family's just such a wonderful group of people. And there's so many other stories behind that from Arizona to Vancouver to California and East Coast, Europe. You know, it's when you meet the families and you meet the kids and the patients, it really makes it real. You know, these aren't just sort of stats or you know facts and figures. They're real people with real stories and real hopes and fears and aspirations. And you know, at the end of the day, I think everybody kind of just wants to be included and to be loved. And you know, sometimes disease gets in the way, but we're doing our best we can to try to stop that. And you know, just give everybody a chance at a happy and healthy life.
I love that. I mean, that's what we do here at the community team. Like,
Yeah.
all we do is deal with people, and like we go to bed feeling very satisfied at night, like hearing all these stories and getting to talk to people such as yourself and Sneb, just like, and really being able to have that platform to share that with everybody. So to hear it's not just with us, that it's across the board. Oh, I
Mm.
love that.
Yeah, it's really universal, I think. I think at the end of the day, I think people just want to do good. And I like to think that most people are good intrinsically. So, like folks like Sneb who use their platform for good things and to help make the world a better place. It's just cool. I wish everybody took their opportunity to do that.
But you see these creators and they create their campaigns for a mission that you created. How does that feel, really, at the end of the day, when you go to sleep? What do you say to yourself? I know you're just amazed every single day.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think, our very first stream, I think I was a little nervous. I'm like, how is this going to go? Like, how are people going to react? And, we've had streams with creators of all sizes, from Sneb and others in the Guild Wars community to folks like Daltouche and Moist Critical. And the one thing that always seems to be the case is that the community are always really supportive. One of my first memories about our first stream was they showed the video clip. We have like a short video clip where it kind of explains it, and the whole chat lights up with like these different emojis and stuff in support, and it's really cool to see that. And people cheer on the patients that they see in the videos, and it's a cool thing to experience, I think. Having created the organization, and having grown since then. We started in the streaming space, and right around when COVID broke out, actually. So almost been in it 3 years now. Crazy to think about that. But watching creators that we know, and creators that we don't know, rally for the cause. It's just cool because I'm so confident that what they're doing has such a big impact on our ability to keep doing the great work that we're doing. It's just kind of gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling.
You just feel fulfilled in your work, and you just go to the next day and keep doing it, inspiring others and sharing the mission. Chat, please know, if you can't fundraise, if you don't have the time to do that, you can just share the mission with your communities, your family, your friends, retweeting posts from Cure Rare Disease, socials, everything. It impacts it. Word of mouth is so strong, so powerful. Don't think it isn't, because it is, okay? I mean, basically, what we're doing right now is word of mouth. I feel very, very motivated to fundraise tomorrow if I can make time. Honestly,
And now you got Guild Wars too, so you can join the Guild Wars.
yeah.
That could be your
There,
I,
intro to the Guild Wars community.
there you go.
you know what? Ooh, okay. I'm tinkering. My brain is tinkering. We got this. Yep. I guess I'll be messaging you, Rich, about some things.
There you go. Always happy to help. And I think,
I
Sneb's point about kind of feeling nervous about his first stream, I would have to imagine everybody feels nervous. It takes so much courage to put yourself out in front of people. But whether you raise $1 or $5, it's the effort that counts, and it's the effort that I think people remember at the end of the day.
You kind of
I've been
stole the
fun.
last question that was going to be on the list.
Uh-oh.
Was
Unintentional.
who said, "What advice would you tell someone that wants to start their first fundraiser for the cause?" I
Oh,
mean, you
wow.
already answered it, so
I
I
kind of
guess
did
we could just
it.
wrap up.
Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I think what we do, especially with our creators, is if we know they're going to stream or we see them tag us on Twitter, we support. We retweet and engage in chat. Some of our people will jump in the chat to cheer the creator on, or tweet, retweet, and comment on Twitter. We can all help each other. I think it's you got my back, I got your back type of thing. So we like to make sure that the creators feel supported and welcomed and cherished. So like you said, I think at the beginning, it was
Absolutely.
a good comment that people are taking their time to do this, and time's valuable, and it's a fleeting resource. So it's kind of them.
And, and I was going to say, I've been fundraising for 5 years now. I had to think about it. 5 years now. And every single campaign, I always get nervous. Like it never goes away. You're always like, I don't know what to expect. And every time I have that thought, I'm like, don't expect anything. Just have fun
Yeah,
and do what you do best. Okay.
yeah,
And that's sharing awareness, which is number one. Number
yeah.
one. And having fun while fundraising as well, because every single dollar that cause did not have that dollar yesterday, and you have to realize that. And don't feel down when you don't hit your goal either, because
Yeah.
again, the time that you're putting into the cause, they appreciate it and love what you're doing so much. And I'm sure Rich can back that. Just you putting in your time to the cause is impactful. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think even like you said, it's if people are watching, you're spreading awareness, and that's a win. For us, we've got a toolkit for streamers where they can get the overlays and the sort of the challenges. So we try to make it easy, at least easier for creators. Because I have to imagine it's very scary to do that. So I really respect people.
absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much, Rich, because I know you are a busy man. So thank you for joining our stream today and talking about cure disease. We really appreciate it. And of course, my co-host Izzy. Shout out to Izzy.
It was so lovely to meet you, and I'm taking this conversation with me, and it's been very impactful.
Oh, thank you. You two are
Eye
too kind.
opening.
Yeah.
Eye opening. Absolutely.
No, I appreciate the opportunity, and it was fun chatting with you guys and getting to have a conversation and talking about streaming and stuff. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Now,
Cure Rare Disease social media person, I just sent you a message on Twitch.
She's watching too.
I know she said hi earlier.
social media buddies partnering together. I love it.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have one last question, Rich. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? You probably know what it is. Pineapple on pizza?
Oh, yeah, good question. Not a natural person to gravitate to that, but not against it either. So I'm going to take the middle line on that.
Great answer. See, you all should learn from Rich, okay? Because us pineapple pizza lovers appreciate your pizza without pineapple too. So it's good to be in the median, okay? And be supportive still, but not your ideal taste. All right?
There you
Take
go.
notes, chat. Take notes.
There you go. Pizza's good at the end of the day. So pineapple, no
Absolutely.
pineapple,
I don't
whatever
think I've
Love
fits
ever
it.
best.
had a bad pizza. Even if his toppings, like I don't like mushrooms, I'll eat a mushroom pizza because it's pizza.
Yeah, same. Now anchovies, maybe not such a
I'd
big fan of
probably eat it.
No,
anchovies,
I'd
but
probably eat it.
if I'm
I
hungry
did it
enough,
for charity. I definitely did it for charity. I did anchovies on pizza. Not
was it
again.
good?
No.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Hmm.
Best
Well,
pizza I've ever had, thinly sliced potatoes.
interesting.
That was
You did,
I had
you
that in
did tell us
Italy.
that.
Yeah, I told you that about that. It was so good. It was like the bread, like perfect olive oil, cheese, thinly sliced potatoes, and then like it wasn't Canadian bacon, but it was some sort of cured ham. And it
Ooh,
was
that sounds really
so
good.
good.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know. I'm
hungry.
originally from New York though, so I got to stick by my people here. New York pizza, second to none.
I respect it. I respect it. I do.
Well, thanks a
Amazing.
lot.
Thank you,
It's been a lot of
everybody,
fun.
for being here. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to close out this evening. We're going to go raid another fundraiser. We're going to go raid Ellie Joy Panic. She is playing Last of Us Part 1, and I'm sure it's the beautiful
Ooh.
remaster. So I'm very excited to check that out. Rich, thank you so much again. I'll be in contact with you, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Happy
Thank you so
Tuesday.
much. Happy
Thank you
Tuesday.
for
Have a good
joining
evening.
us.
Bye now.
Thank you, everybody. And we're going to be live again tomorrow. Izzy, can you tell us what's going on tomorrow?
Oh, yes. So tomorrow, it's not technically kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month since it's the day after, but tomorrow, myself and Ashlina will be discussing Hispanic Heritage Month and doing a makeup stream. We will be doing Sugar Skull makeup. I am so excited.
Yes. And no, I will not be there. I will be behind the scenes chat running the stream. You won't be seeing me do makeup. It's going to be Izzy this time. We're going to see her go full on out. I'm very, very excited. So Yeah, and I'll be tomorrow at noon PST. So make sure you
Hmm.
come by our channel and check it out and have some fun with us and chat. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna go raid Ellie Joy Panic. Let's throw the raid message
Already
here in
did.
chat. Just
See,
never mind. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. Everybody, let's go raid. Rich is off. I'm so happy we got to do this,
This was
especially with
great.
two busy individuals.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's go on over to Ellie Joy Panic and let's do this raid. Thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Very, very excited about tomorrow. Izzy, I can't wait.
Yes, it'll be great. I'm excited.
Mhm. Absolutely. You all have a beautiful evening. We'll see you tomorrow.